Hey everyone, so this module we take a look at chapter 5, which is on training design. Now remember one of the things that I said last module, that the chapter on the needs analysis process really is the foundation for everything that comes afterwards. So when we get into training design, you need to not forget about chapter 4. Matter of fact, even after the midterm is passed, you really need to be thinking about, in almost every chapter, the other chapters that preceded it, because everything is sort of building on each other now as we go. So this one looks at training design, and really the issue here is, how do I determine what's going to go into training? And then the chapter starts looking into some different issues. For example, and this is a big one for a lot of organizations, once I know what kind of training I need, does it make more sense to me to design it, like build it from the ground up internally? Or am I going to go out to a training company and buy something that's already made, one of those, like an off-the-shelf training package? And as you'll see as you go through your text, that there are pros and cons to each of those. From there, we start getting into different things around ideas like what's going to go in it, in terms of the training content. How are we going to, get participants thinking about it? So, for example, one of the things that often comes up in the design phase is, even before participants show up in the training room, is there any kind of pre-work that I want to have happen? Do I set the stage and get them thinking about it in some way? Do I have them do sort of like a homework exercise or a pre-exercise that they bring in, or I get ahead of time so that I have some things to consider? And things like that. How am I going to get them to practice the skill sets? Because as we get into this and we start talking about the effectiveness of training, of course, it's really important that participants not just be there and be attentive in the session, but also that they can take what they learn in the session and go away, back to work and do something with it. That's a big downfall of a lot of training endeavors that are out there, is that the transfer of training back to the workplace is minimal, and a lot of it even falls off even below that minimal level 2 to 4 weeks afterwards. So you start looking at things like that when you start looking at your design piece. How am I going to get that up? And then your chapter just starts looking at things around those types of issues. It ends, and something to really take a good look at, when you get to page 155, figure 5.1, a model of training effectiveness, just to sort of, again, bring a lot of things together to see how they interact. That figure gives you a better understanding, I think, or a clearer understanding, perhaps, of how training design plays its part in the whole overall role of training effectiveness. So that's it. I'll turn you loose to take a look through the chapter. Let me know if you have any questions, and again, have a great week.